In this video, we'll show you how to set up your QORTector TitanMATE. I'm on a MacBook, and I'll be using Microsoft Remote Desktop to remotely access the QORTector. My QORTector only has the power and Ethernet connected to it. It does not have a monitor, keyboard, and mouse. Either option will work, but if you're going to do remote access, you'll need to log into your router and find the IP address of the QORTector. This IP address is not the same as the IP address for your router. So up top, we will click the Add PC option, and we will enter the IP address of the QORTector. Click Add. Make sure you're on the same network for both the MacBook and the QORTector. Now we're prompted to enter the username and password. This is the same whether you're using remote desktop or the monitor, keyboard, mouse setup. Username is Pi. Password is all lowercase, D as in dog, MAX911E. Press continue. And you'll see that we've successfully remoted into the QORTector. Now in the top right corner, we have the date and time. We can see we have a connected Ethernet. We have our audio control. Oops, ignore that. We have our applications, places, system. We have our Quartal UI, the Chromium web browser, the Mate terminal, the client drives, and our home folder for the Pi. All right, so first thing we're going to do is open up the Mate terminal. And we're going to enter the correct time zone. So enter sudo space raspi-config and enter. Now we're going to use the up and down arrows on the keyboard to highlight option number 5 for localization options and press enter. Then we'll go down to time zone and press enter. Now we'll go down to the country that we're in. We'll go to the city that's in the time zone we're in, which I know it's a bit odd, but this is just how it's set up. And after you've pressed enter for that, we're done. We can use the right arrow on the keyboard to highlight finish and press enter. And we have successfully changed the time zone. All right, so the next thing we want to do is change the password. So type in password, PASWD, and press enter. Now we're being prompted to enter that default, all lowercase, DMAX911E. You won't see these keys being entered. If you've done it correctly, it will prompt you to enter the next, or your new password. You'll need to do that again. And it's been updated successfully. All right, so important notes. Always tell the QORTector to shut down the core before you turn off the QORTector. That way you don't risk corrupting your database, and we'll show you how to do all that. But when you're ready to actually shut down the device, you could type in sudo space shutdown and press enter, and that will shut down the device entirely. Or you could type in sudo space reboot, and that will restart the device. So let's go ahead and close this window out just to make things a little bit simpler. All right, so if we type in cd space Quartal, you'll see that in blue, we're now within the Quartal directory on this device. So now we could type in ./stop.sh, because the cool thing about these QORTectors is they're set to run the core automatically at startup. So right now, the core is actually running. So we're going to press enter, and we're commanding the core to shut down. In green, it says Quartal ended gracefully. So the core has stopped. At this time, you could enter the sudo reboot and restart the device if needed. Now we're going to type in ./start.sh and press enter. Quartal running is PID. That's good. Now we will wait a moment for a pop-up. We can see the current core version as 3.2.3. And we'll give it just another moment here. And we'll notice that the icon just displayed in this system tray. If you hover over it, it says it's connecting with 0 connections. It shows the current block height as 789,346. So everything looks good there, right? So please note that this icon doesn't display until we go through stopping and starting the core. That's just how these QORTectors function at this time. So now what we can do is go to our Quartal UI. And we can either log in with an existing account that we had on a previous computer, or we could create a new account. Now for this part of the process, let's show you the wiki. So with Chromium web browser, we'll double click and open that. And we'll be going to the wiki, which is wiki.quartal.org. If you haven't seen this already, there's a homepage on the wiki that will give you a simple walkthrough of how the wiki's laid out. So we're scrolling down to the how-to guides, and we're going to the QORTector. Okay, so QORTector walkthrough video is what we're doing now. There's also a QORTector update guide, which has been actually added to this page. And then we have account setup and recovery. All right, we have two different videos here. We have a video for setting up an account, and we have one for recovering your account. All right, so please refer to those if you haven't done so already. In this case, we'll just make a quick account by clicking next. We're going to this name that you're making here is not a registered name on the Quartal chain. This is just something locally for your QORTector. All right, we'll click. We're going to save in browser, which means if we ever close the UI and open again, this demo account will be displayed, and I can show you that in a moment. So click Create Account. Now we have the option to download the backup file. Okay, and automatically prompts you to select which folder, or if you'd like to plug in a thumb drive, you could do so. Sometimes the thumb drives can be finicky on the QORTector, so it may be best to download the file and email it to yourself and store it on another computer, from there. So anyways, you would save it here. When you're done, you could do this multiple times if you wanted to, right? So we're going to click Continue. And now we've logged into our Quartal account. Of course, up at the top, you have the option between light and dark mode. And in the bottom left corner, we can see the current UI version 1.82 and the core version 3.23. Let's double check that we have the latest versions by going back to the wiki. And up top here, homepage, official links, Quartal status updates. Let's click on that. And you'll see here we have our current core version 3.23, 3.23 over here, 1.82 for the UI, 1.82. So we're good. There's no need to manually update, right? Now, if you find that you don't have the latest version, you could let the core, if it's the core that's out of date, just in general, as you see here, we're about 99% synchronized. It's probably best just to let it finish synchronizing the remaining blocks. And in that event, if your core was out of date, it would catch the update block during that synchronization process and update the core for you. If it's the UI, you will end up with a pop-up asking you if you would like to update now. So you could do that. I think it's about every 15 minutes that you might get that notification if it is out of date. Now, if you wanted to do that manually, let's close this out. Show you here. If you wanted to do that manually, We actually added that to the QORTector walkthrough page. And on the right, table of contents, how to update core and UI version. So this is how we would update the core. You would just double click, I guess like triple click, and copy. So Control C or right click, copy, and you could go to the terminal, a new terminal window in this case, and you can paste it, which it might not let me since I don't have a mouse. Give me 1 second. All right. So in this case, we have a mouse. We can right-click paste. And as you see in this script here, it's cd QORTel to go to the QORTel directory, /stop.sh to stop the core. The next command here says remove the QORTel jar, remove the database. Oh shoot, bear with me here. As you see, we had the pop-up because it was bootstrapping. All right, and so on and so forth. So it's going to replace everything to do with the core and then the start script to start the Pi back up. And that's why we see QORTel ended gracefully to stop it. It went through its process, and it has started running as PID. Now, as you see by in green, anytime you see this, the process for whatever previous command has now been completed, and it's ready to accept our next command. Right? So then we could go over to how to manually update the UI. We could triple click, right click, copy, go back to our terminal, right click, paste, and we would be able to update as such. So then we could click the X and close out of all this. If you wanted to change your search engine, there's information on how to do that here. I just showed you how to do it remotely. There's a page on the Wiki for that, and the account setup recovery. All right, so that's going to conclude a quick walkthrough video. As you'll see here, if you find yourself doing a full node bootstrap, what this will do is get you closer to 100% synchronizing, right? So especially for our foreign customers, if you find yourself at 97, 98%, you may want to go ahead and follow the bootstrap process. We can also show you that real quick. Let's say for some reason you wanted to bootstrap on the QORTector. You would just type in cd space QORTel. Now we are in the QORTel directory again. We would do ./stop.sh. Okay, and then we could do rm space -r space db and press enter. And then we are going to do ./start.sh. QORTel running as PID. We'll see this pop-up happen again. And we are now downloading the full bootstrap, right? So we'll let this get to 100%. There's a few other things that it will download after this first 100%. And then at that point, you can open up your UI and let it finish synchronizing. Keep in mind that you have to be 100% synchronized to send messages on QChat and use all the other functions with this node. All right, so with that, we will conclude the video. Feel free to reach out to us on Telegram, Discord, or within QChat. And welcome to QORTel.